Having an art style is stupid, so stop obsessing over it. Hi, I'm Deliciously Soft or Cora, and I am your local incompetent digital artist. Within my years in the art community, I've always noticed this obsession surrounding having an art style and finding an art style as soon as you pick up a pencil. It's actually really funny because half the time the people who are obsessing over this are really young artists who don't even know what their favorite color is. I'm talking about myself here, but anyway, this obsession though does feed into a lot of problems within the art community, as if we already don't have many outside of it. But it always feeds into the idea of an artist having to be perfectly consistent. Not only that, but it just makes you feel bad because of the expectation versus reality gap that a lot of artists have. And it also just takes away from being able to learn and actually develop your art. Instead, you're focusing on meeting certain criteria in every piece to make sure it's still in the same quote style, which doesn't make much sense if you actually think about it, because if you are drawing something, it's most likely going to have some kind of thing that is your little mark, and it doesn't have to be very obvious. It most likely won't be very obvious to you, because the thing with artists is that we sit and look at our art so much and compare it to every single piece of art that we have ever liked in existence that all of it just kind of blends together. I'm not gonna lie. Once you look at something for so long, it doesn't look like that thing anymore. It's like saying a word and you've said the word so much that it doesn't sound like it's a word anymore. It's like that when you look at your own art. You can't properly judge your own art. Now, I think this problem actually comes from the starving artist trope, which doesn't seem to have much connection at first, but bear with me. In order to make money as an artist, you have to have a sort of consistent art style so people recognize that it's yours, and customers will automatically be attracted to you and they'll come back because they know they're gonna get what they're gonna get every single time. So if you don't have these traits, then customers won't come back because they, one, won't be able to recognize your art, and they also won't know what they're gonna get next time if they order from you again. And let's be honest, nobody wants to be the starving artist on the side of the road with a spare change sign. But I think it does come into question why we put so much value on our art being absolutely perfect all the time in order for people to want to buy it or for us to even like it. It's really funny because a lot of the time people always throw around the term, well, art isn't supposed to be perfect and that's the beauty of it and whatnot, but then will only ever post their most beautiful sketchbook pieces as if half of it isn't fucking empty. This isn't even a problem just related to art, or that has even stemmed recently. If you look back in history, you'll see paintings of people only in their most expensive, wonderful clothing that they have, and only appearing to the public as the perfect persona that they want to create for themselves. Being perfect has been an obsession that a lot of people have had since the dawn of time, and a lot of people say that it has amplified because of social media, and honestly, I wouldn't say that. I would say that it's just the same. People are just more aware of it because it's across the globe now and not just confined to small towns or cities or even nations and whatnot. In every single nation, there's always been a certain standard that you have to uphold yourself to, which is honestly just stupid, because if you are following a criteria your whole entire life, you can't live like that. It's impossible. It's physically impossible to live by a certain set of rules. Unless it's don't kill or lobotomize people or something, which I know. Very difficult set of rules to live by. Sometimes it's difficult, but we'll get through it. I think the same principles of being perfect should apply to art as well, because art is very human. It shows how we think and how we think about the people around us, and that is why AI art is hot garbage, but that's a topic for another day. Being consistent all the time is an absolutely unattainable goal that you cannot achieve no matter what you do. And that's why having a consistent art style is stupid. Or what people think an art style is, because that's also something people don't understand. Having an art style isn't specific features that you put in your art on purpose, it's just being able to tell that you drew something. Like if you drew a human and an animal, people would still be able to tell that it's drawn by the same artist. And that's gonna happen naturally if you just keep working on your art. You can't force it to happen. If you do force it to happen, then you'll probably either end up burned out or depressed, or the quality will decrease immensely. Because what happens when you force yourself into doing something when it comes to creative work is that your lack of enjoyment in the content shows in the products so much. Oh my gosh. If you hate what you're doing in a creative work, it is going to show, and the quality of your content is gonna crash. It's gonna go straight down. Now, I say all this as if I'm a 68-year-old artist with like decades of experience under my belt, but I'm really not. I mean, if you can tell by the fact that I sound like I'm 12 and my mom just let me out of my cage. I'm just saying this from a perspective of somebody who is still a young and developing artist and who puts way too much pressure on themselves to be perfect and to constantly post in a way that other people enjoy it, whether I like it or not. I recognize is a completely stupid way of looking at art, because when you're a young artist, I feel like there is a certain amount of pressure that if you spend a lot of time on your art, then you somehow have to make it into a career in the future, which is just not true. I've experienced that a lot, and I've had people tell me all the time, oh, you should sell your art, oh, you're gonna be so talented in the future, you're gonna do big things. But it gives the impression that art has no value to you unless you are making money off of it, which is stupid, honestly, because why can't you just do things for fun? It's not wasted potential to be amazing at something and not do it for monetary gain. I think it's a really dumb idea to have that mindset. Now, I'm not gonna go the route that's like, oh, you don't need money to be happy, because that is a stupid saying that I hate so much. People who say that have never had any trouble with money, I swear to God. But that doesn't mean that money is like the only thing that makes you happy. Obviously, you need a balance of everything. But I do feel like there is this self-conscious standard in society that something you're passionate about equals happiness, but happiness also equals money. So to do something you're passionate about means to do it for money. And it's really funny because people push the idea of turning art into a career onto like talented kids all the time, but then you actually get into the art business and nobody gives a shit about artists, no matter what industry you're in, whether it's gaming, animation, or whatnot, or whatever. They're always overworked and depressed, and they always have something they're complaining about. Now, that's not to say that everybody in the art business is depressed and stuff. That's obviously not true. I know a lot of people who work in the art area and are very happy with their jobs and would not dream of having any other job for the world. But most artists, when you look at the statistics, are very overworked and not paid enough to sit there for like a full week without seeing the sun. Anyways, starting to wrap this up because the speed paint's almost over. All this goes to say is that if you are a artist that is struggling to find a style, stop it. You don't need to. Art is supposed to be something that expresses yourself and how you feel about the world and others around you. And honestly, having a certain set of styles that you can do just shows how much skill you have and the amount of ways that you know how to express yourself and the amount of ways that you see the world around you. Even art school doesn't really push finding a style. It's just a dumb concept that people have pushed onto artists to make them feel worse about themselves, along with everything else that society does to make artists feel terrible. Anyways, I hope that this little rant has helped someone. If it hasn't, then it certainly helped me because I need a place to yap. Either way, this is my OC Chin and his little sister Shinji. I love them so much. And while I was trying this, I actually lost some of the footage of me rendering Chin's face. But let me know if you want more content like this where it's just me ranting, or if you want like OC stuff, or if you want process videos. I'm honestly open to anything. This is my first video, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow me or subscribe if you want to support me. That would mean the world to me. Bye.